Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Mark.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Today is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson versus Jason Statham. They star together in Hobbs & Shaw, the new Fast and Furious spinoff that gives them a chance to flex their biceps without Vin Diesel napping through the fun. They're both great action stars, and we're going to take a look at their storied careers and see who comes out on top. It's about to get oily, folks.
You think I'm stupid?
Of course I think you're stupid. But you know what? I'll do you a favor. I'll knock that dumb right out of your skull. You just say the word, Jack.
Here's how our competition works. Round 1, box office. Round 2, Tomatometer. Round 3, toughest opponent. And we'll do a wild card round that could involve push-ups, kettlebell rows, or who can eat the most in one sitting. Have you seen The Rock's Instagram? The dude's cheat days are legendary. All right, here we go.
I'm what you call an ice-cold can of whoop ass.
You must have misplaced that when I kicked your ass up and down that office of yours.
Round 1, box office. Both fellas have proven they are bankable action stars over their 31 movie careers. Yep, they both each have done 31 movies that we had box office intel on, and ever since we first saw The Rock step out of the WWE ring and into the talking pictures, he's been a force. His flicks have grossed a combined $4.1 billion domestically, and that makes for an average outing of $133.6 million. Beat that, Statham. He can't. He's done well. His movies have earned a total of $2.4 billion, and that's an average of $80.8 million per film. But maybe do less mechanics and more Megs. Yeah, we want more giant sharks. Look, it's cool to hook up with Jessica Alba on a beach, but if you want an audience to get in the theater, get in the water and battle a giant prehistoric monster.
I'm gonna make this thing bleed.
I can't say I would take that advice myself, but I would like you to do it, Jason.
Well, I'll make a habit of doing things that people say I can't do. Walk through fire, water ski blindfolded, take up piano at a late age.
The Rock also has the highest grossing domestic film of either fella, and it's not a Fast and Furious movie. It's actually Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. Statham's highest grossing film is, drumroll please, we still don't have sound effects. Okay, it's Furious 7, which also stars Dwayne. So The Rock wins this round easy, and he's off to a 1-0 start.
Scorching.
Round 2, Tomatometer. Okay, Dwayne, so your movies make tons of cash, but are they cinema?
I never do.
Jason Statham has an impressive Tomatometer resume. He can do crime thrillers like Snatch and The Italian Job. He can do comedy like in his highest charting Tomatometer film, Spy, at 94%.
I go into the face-off machine, get a whole new face. I turn up, they never notice me.
And of course, he has lent his fresh scent to franchises like Fast and Furious and Crank. But in the other corner is The Rock, the self-touted franchise Viagra.
Oh, yeah. Get your movie boners up.
Are they a sponsor of the show yet? We'll give it a couple years for me. His highest charting movie on the Tomatometer is Moana. Yep, he sings and dances and everything. It's 96% fresh, but his best live action rating is 92% for Fighting With My Family, where he plays The Rock.
Please, sir. May I have some more advice, sir? You want some advice? Here's the Rock's advice. Shut your mouth.
And while Dwayne edges out Statham for average movie rating, he's at 49.8%, Jason is 46.6%. Most of Dwayne's hits are in big-name ensemble blockbusters like Fast and Furious is and Jumanji. When it's him and just him on the marquee, he's not as bulletproof. Statham has freshness in and out of franchises, so while both bros can do much more than just kick ass on screen, it's Jason who takes this round. We are tied at 1 each, and it's still anyone's ball game.
Okay, thanks, lunch lady.
Round 3, toughest opponent. You know how every boxer seems to have a record of like 30 wins and 2 losses? So the question becomes, who'd you beat? Shockingly, both men cancel each other out with their monster-centric battles. Jason crushed the Meg and had a sweet Godzilla fight scene in Crank 2. And meanwhile, The Rock emerged victorious against a giant crocodile, a huge wolf, and a giant pig gorilla who ended up being friendly. I love me some George.
Son of a bitch.
Statham has taken out a bunch of cops before turning good-ish in the Fast and Furious universe, and he also wiped out dozens of soldiers in the Dungeon Siege movie. You remember? It's okay, nobody remembers the actual name of that. It had a king or a name or something in there. But Dwayne, ooh boy, he's decimated an entire army in The Rundown, defeated another army in Hercules, and he punched an earthquake into submission in San Andreas. He didn't actually punch it, but it's like the earthquake flexed, and then the Rock flexed, and the earthquake was like, my bad, dude, let me buy you a drink. The Rock wins this round.
Goddamn IT guys.
And our wild card round, who wins in a fight? Let's cut to the chase. Since the dawn of action stars, it's always fun to see who would beat up who. Sly versus Arnie, hey, that's a vid you can watch. Van Damme versus Seagal, which I will totally do if somebody allows me. And now The Rock versus Jason Statham, the former wrestler versus the ex-member of Britain's national swimming squad. But this isn't about who can follow a storyline better or who can swim the English Channel the fastest, mano a mano. Now, based on Fast and Furious logic, Statham should win. He got the better of Dwayne in Furious 7, and they battled to a tie in The Fate of the Furious. Who wins the eye test? It's The Rock. Come on.
They will not stop until you feed them.
He's too big, too much destruction. According to our researchers, he's caused $12 trillion of damage in his flicks. He simply does not go down. But is that him? Or is it his stunt double? Statham famously doesn't like actors who sit out the stunts. He does most of his own stunts, even if it almost kills him. Which came close to doing just that on the set of Expendables 3. For reals, YouTube it.
So, like, 60 feet at the bottom of the Black Sea, stuck in the mud, thinking, hang on a minute, how am I going to get out of this? This is how it ends. Nothing kills me.
So while The Rock has put on up to 30 pounds of muscle for roles like Pain and Gain, Statham added 2 hours of combat training a day to prep for the Expendables. I haven't done 2 hours of combat training in my entire life. Plus, Statham won the Bottle Cap Challenge. I'm shocked that this is happening. I can't believe I'm gonna do this in a vid that goes out to people, but I gotta give it to Statham. He wins the round. Down goes Johnson. Down goes Johnson. Nobody tell The Rock I voted against him. Please do not let him see this.
This arm has been ripped off completely and reattached with this fucking arm.
I don't know that that's possible.
So we're tied at 2, and I have to make a decision that will define my judgment for the rest of my days. This is my moment to choose what will be remembered for all eternity. The Rock. The Rock is the pick. If you had to start a franchise with 1 star, regardless of the genre, it's Dwayne Johnson. Statham is great and did a fantastic job hanging in against one of the world's biggest stars, and he may get the ultimate win. How? Because you, the viewer, decide. I'm just one vote here, and you can vote right now by typing your winner into the comment section and defend your choice as I have valiantly defended mine here today. We'll be looking, and we'll hope to see you on another episode real soon. And I hope that episode is the Van Damme versus Seagal one. No? Van Damme's gonna win.